Hello, everybody, and welcome to my webinar. Today is April 27th, and it's 2 o'clock. And today we're going to be covering the benefits of using pay-per-click advertising. I'm actually going to break this into two segments. One is going to be a very quick kind of evaluation of the benefits of using pay-per-click. And then I actually thought I'd dive into a little deeper into pay-per-click advertising. A lot of people don't have an understanding of where to begin and how to start. And I thought, why don't we show a little bit of that? And maybe that'll take a little bit of ease off people of how to log in, how to start your keyword planning, and then what are the key performance indicators that I should be watching when I've set up my Google Ads. So we're going to do a little bit of that today. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what PPC advertising is and how you can benefit from incorporating it into your broader marketing strategy. I really do feel that pay-per-click advertising is critical to a marketing strategy, and we'll get into that with the benefits, but I do really feel that it's right up there with SEO. You should definitely have it as a game plan, and it is a little costly at times, depending on your geographic location and the keywords you're trying to rank for. Well, not rank, but auction for, I guess, in this case. But overall, it's, I think, definitely a strategy you should have. A little introduction, as always, about myself. I'm Mike Hepburn. I'm the owner and operator of YourSocialStrategy.com. I just wanted to let you know, for those that may not realize this yet, we have actually merged with another company on January 1st, 2022. It's another digital marketing agency here in Kingston. Their primary focus was websites. So it was a nice blend between the two companies in order to be a full service provider. Even though we offered websites, it wasn't our forte. We always did social media and SEO, and whereas they did websites and some SEO and social media, but not a lot. So it was a nice blend of the two companies. We are going through a rebranding phase. We are going to be rebranding both Your Social Strategy and the other company called WebWorks into a new company name. I will announce that shortly coming up, but it's going to have a name that's in general. It kind of goes across all boards of marketing, as opposed to, you know, Your Social Strategy focuses only on social media, which isn't true, but that's what people think, and WebWorks only focuses on websites because web's in their name. So it'll be interesting. We'll see how it works out. I have 29 years of experience in the funeral profession. I'm a co-founder of Frontrunner and Funeral Tech. Both are major technology companies in the funeral sector. They are both very successful, and I learned definitely a lot. In my 29 years, I did start out at the family funeral home, washing cars, working the donation desk, doing removals. So I've worked pretty much all aspects of funeral service at one way or another, excluding seeing a family, as that's not prohibited here in Ontario. Yeah, we've certainly done a lot in the funeral profession, so I have a pretty good grasp of it. I'm a past board member of the Thousand Islands Chamber of Commerce, and we are a current member of the Kingston, Ontario Chamber as well. As always, I like to tell people they can contact me on one of three methods, either by email, Mike@YourSocialStrategy.com. You can call me at any time on my number, 888-356-0380, extension 101. Or you can call my mobile or text. Text is the preferable method of contact, 613-328-9422. I do have my phone on me at all times for texting, so if you have a question or need to make me aware of something, text will get the most quickest response. All right, so what are we going to cover today? Well, we're going to cover what is pay-per-click advertising, and then what are the benefits of PPC. A well-planned PPC campaign can generate good profits much faster than any other digital marketing method and can help your company grow. So true. It is not that hard to set up, and the returns can be certainly a lot faster because it's immediate. So PPC is a great method of reaching your target audience exactly when they're ready to convert. When small businesses are building their digital marketing strategies, they want to incorporate techniques that will give them quick results. If you are a startup, it becomes even more important to market your products or services in a very effective way, so you can get a quick response from potential customers and better your sales. However, strategies such as search engine optimization, while very effective, does not provide immediate results. This is where pay-per-click advertising comes into the picture. So usually when I'm talking to a client about a marketing strategy that involves SEO, Google, pay-per-click advertising, any of that nature, SEO, as I've talked about in previous webinars, is a slow process. You get your site optimized, you get the search engines indexing the site, but it can take 4 to 6 months to even start seeing results. And that's not page one, that's even seeing that you're coming up on searches. Whereas pay-per-click advertising is immediate. You literally type in, or you put in your information, and you are instantly starting to bid on keywords in auction. And I'll show you what that means in a second once we go over to Google. But there is no waiting period and there is no approval process. So you can instantly start seeing results. Again, if you're spending a $25 budget in the city of Toronto on keyword real estate, you're probably not going to win too many ads. But if you've got a healthy budget and are competing for competitive keywords, then there's a good chance that your ad will come up, especially at the top 3. All right, so what is pay-per-click advertising? Well, pay-per-click, or PPC, is a marketing tool that can be used to promote your business in the digital space. This strategy works in a very simple way, which is also why it is so popular. You can run your ads, and the amount you pay will depend entirely on how many people have clicked on that ad. Today, there are numerous PPC platforms to choose from. However, Bing ads and Google ads are the most widely used. With that, I will state, Bing ads to me is a complete waste of money. It represents 4% of your traffic when you look at your spread of where your hits to your website are coming from, whereas 92% is coming from Google. So that's where you really want to spend your focus. The nice thing is Bing ads and Google ads functionally and setup wise are exactly the same. Bing ads literally copied Google ads to a T. So if you know how to set up a Google ad, you'll be certainly fine with setting up a Bing ad. They are 2 separate entities requiring 2 separate budgets. So keep that in mind. So number 1, quick results. When you adopt any marketing strategy, you need quick results. PPC becomes the fastest way to run a marketing campaign and get immediate results. All you have to do is set up an ads account once your website is running. That's very important. You need to have a website up and running or landing pages before you set up a Google Ads account. You have to have somewhere to land the visitor. Create the ads and run them on the Google network, and you will start getting traffic before long. It is an extremely efficient way of reaching your target audiences. So with Google Ads, for example, there's actually 2 networks. There's the search network, and then there's the display network. The search network is your Google ads that we commonly see in a search result, with the ad at the top with a little ad icon and some verbiage, and then a link to the website. That's called the search network. There's also a network called display, which is actually called AdSense, owned and operated by Google. And many websites out there run or incorporate the AdSense network into their websites. It's a way of generating revenue for them. So they sell the space on their website to AdSense, and AdSense then charges you for that space depending on if it's clicked. So it's a great way of doing display advertising, but it does require a graphical ad, which through the Google Builder, you can build those ads easily, or you can actually customize those ads and have them, created by a digital marketing company or yourselves if you're good with Canva or Photoshop. So there are two methods of network, the search network and display advertising. Display advertising is a lot less expensive per impression or per click than search network. So it is something that if you're trying to spread out your money, you might look at doing digital advertising or digital network. That could be a good path. The results are measurable. The other important aspect of PPC is that any step you take has a very clear and measurable target. You can measure all aspects related to your PPC campaign, ranging from costs and views to clicks, visits, and profits. There are a number of different reporting tools that provide you with the information and data you need to build a more solid marketing strategy. So that's what I'm going to go into a little bit. I want to show you exactly what Google provides for answers to your questions of, is my Google ads working? You don't have to depend on SEO alone. When implemented correctly, SEO brings in tangible results. However, search engine optimization is a long-term digital marketing strategy and doesn't bring in immediate results. There are a number of aspects that need to be kept in view while running an SEO campaign, and you need to be consistent and patient. This isn't the case with PPC, and you don't have to worry about Google changing its algorithms and throwing your marketing strategy out of gear. There are from time to time changes that Google Ads do to their system. It's not very common, but I know, for example, there used to be the way you used to set up keywords, you could have a plus sign with a word, and anyways, they've removed all that. They've actually simplified it, which I'll talk about in a separate document here in a moment. So we're going to now jump over to Google, and the first thing I wanted to actually do, I was going to do Google Ads login, but I'm going to do real estate in Kingston. And you can see here, I got my search result, but down below, I actually have ads. So this is an example of an ad. This is the headline. So you want to have the keywords entered in your headline. This is your description. And they've actually included some what's called ad extensions. So they have a review ad extension here where you can see there's been 161 reviews. And then they also have some additional call to actions or ad extensions here for buyers start here or sellers start here. So you can see this company, Agent Pronto, has spent a little bit more time setting up their Google Ads than even things like Real Estate Imagined, who have just a simple ad with a simple description. There are 4 ad spaces at the top of the search engine result page. So you can see here there's 4. And then also at the bottom, there is an additional 3. So the big thing is, and using Real Estate Kingston as an example, I know there's 570 different agents in Kingston, all vying for this position. So depending on competitiveness and the cost per click, what they're going to project it's going to cost, then based on your budget gives you an opportunity of whether you're realistically going to end up on this page or maybe on page 2 or page 3. Because if we go to page 2, there will also be additional ads. These cost a lot less than they did on the first page, but they still are paying, and you're not paying while you're being viewed, you're only being paid if we click an ad. Now, one question I do commonly get is, what if I'm a competitor to Ryan Pattinson and I just start clicking the heck out of this ad? Google has a way of tracking your IP address, especially if you're logged into Google. It knows who you are. It will not charge him double the price or triple or quadruple the amount. It knows that it only should cost one time. So that's a common question that I do get. Now, how do I get into Google? Well, all you need to do is type in Google Ads login, You do need to have a Google account, a Gmail account. That's what it attaches to. So I'm just going to click on the very first thing. It was an ad, but it happens to be the login. And I click on sign in. And I'm going to have a few options here just because we manage a bunch of accounts, but I'm going to pick your social strategy. And you will see here in a moment that it loads up my Google Ads account. So on the very first page is your overview. So it'll give you an overview based on a time frame. So here we can see I've done a time frame of April 1st to today. And in that time frame, I've had 30 clicks. 637 times my ad has come up in a search. My average cost per click is $3.03 for a cost of $90.81. Now I'm going to add a couple more pieces to it. I have in this account a $100 a month budget. So what it's going to do is Google is great at spending your money. If you put a $100 budget, it's going to spend $100. I have a client that has a $3,200 a month budget. It will spend all $3,200. It's part of their system. So, and then also what's important with Google Ads is it's a cost per day. So even though you say, well, it's $100 a month, it's actually not. It's a cost per day. So when you're setting up your account, it'll say how much do you want to spend per day, which in this case is $3.28 a day. So that will come out to a total of $100. And then, as I said, it's very good at spending. It may be 101, 102, maybe 98, but it's always very accurate. So you don't ever have to worry about it spending more than what is needed. You're in control of how much gets spent. But as we go down further, we can see things like how my campaign is performing. So you might end up with multiple campaigns, and this one we only have one, which is an SEO campaign. So you can see I spent $91, 30 clicks for a 4.71% click-through rate. We can see things like, okay, let's look at keywords. SEO company in Canada, I've spent $38.52 for 13 clicks for 7.34% click-through rate, which is high. Normal click-through rate with Google Ads is about 2%. So anything over 2, you're doing well. Anything under 2, it's underperforming. So you can see here of these ones, we all have positives. They're over 2%. Now, one tool you'll definitely want to look at is the Google Keyword Planner. So one of two things you can use the Google Keyword Planner for. One is you can discover new keywords. So if we go in here, type in real estate, it's going to give me results on those keywords or suggestions for keywords that are similar. Now this is searching all of Canada. I can actually break it down. I can say Kingston, Ontario, Toronto, Ontario. I could say, New York City. So I can actually be very specific. And it's going to give me the number of searches average-wise per month. And then whether it's a high, medium, or low competitive. And then top of page. Remember, I showed you the first 4 positions. So it's going to give you a high range and a low range. So for top of position of real estate in Canada, it's saying that it's $1.88 is high and a low of 22 cents. Now that could be also driven by time of day. So maybe at 3 in the morning, an ad going out is only going to cost you 22 cents, whereas at 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. it might cost $1.88. So it gives you an idea. So you can actually look and say, okay, these are the keywords I want to add to my Google Ads. Now another tool, part of that tool, was your search volume and forecast. So here you can actually say, okay, how often is something searched for? Oh. So you can see here, we have 91,000 searches for real estate across Canada. Real estate in Kingston is about 5,400 searches a month, and real estate in Toronto is around 27,100. And again, it can give you that these are all low competitive, and then the cost ranges based on, and as you can see here, so in Canada, if we're just going across Canada with the keywords real estate, it was 22 and $1.88. In Kingston, it's 24 cents and a low high of $1.14, but in Toronto, it's 59 or $3.29. So much higher cost because the competitive nature is much higher in Toronto, more people, so it obviously will have an increased cost. So let's go back to my Google Ads, and we're just going to look at ad groups, for example. So Shelby is my pay-per-click advertising specialist. She who works on all these ads. So she is broken. You can have as many ad groups per campaign as you wish. And remember, campaign I talked about could be a search network or a display network. Those are the two different campaigns. So under this campaign, we have SEO service keywords, affordable SEO service, and SEO services for small business keywords. Each one of those will contain different keywords, so different strategies. So you can see that over the course of the month, really only one ad group is actually functioning, even though they're all green light. The SEO service keywords is generated the 30 clicks, the 637 impressions, and the 4.71% click-through rate. So you can see that how it's working. So it's actually working pretty good. Now, one number that if you set up, if a professional sets up your Google Ads, they may set up what's called a Google Tag Manager and set up conversions based on a submission of a form, a phone call. There's a number of different things that can be called a conversion. So you can see here in this month, I've actually had 0 conversions, but if I set this to all time, you can see I've had 3 conversions. My average conversion cost is $540. It's very high, which to me, it doesn't mean it's actually working. So whether we have the wrong triggers set up or we need to figure out why we're so low in phone calls or form submissions. So that's just on one ad group though. Now, another thing that we can look at is ad extensions. So you can have these appear below the actual ad. So this is the ad itself and what it says. And then you can set up different ad extensions. Remember, we showed the buyer start here, the seller start here, and the review. So you can have different types of types of ad extensions. And you can see, again, you can start watching, okay, so these ones here, this one's had 11,000 impressions of 403 clicks at a 3.65 click-through rate. So click-through rate, it's not bad. It's above average. My cost per click is $3.30. So we can see this also triggered 2 of our conversions. So again, we can look at this, monitor it, and then start modifying it and changing it. And as a service for us, this is what we do every month, is we go into every client's account and adjust ad groups, ad extensions, and landing pages, because that's what ends up determining how well things are working. Now, one thing that I didn't talk about yet is your landing pages. So when you set up an ad, you have to have it land at a page on your website. Sometimes it could be, with funeral homes, it could be a pre-planning ad. So we're going to land it on the pre-planning page. Now, one thing that Google does is it provides what's called a quality score, a 1 through 10 ranking of how good the quality of that content is to the ad. And that's a ranking completed by Google. It's not something that you can rank yourself. It's all you can do is provide better content. So if your Google quality rating is a 1 to 5, then you're not going to have a great success in getting your ad at the top of the page. Also, the higher your quality score, so a 10, a 9, or an 8, the less you pay in the auction and higher chances of a win. So what they're trying to do is encourage you to land at a page that is appropriate to the content you're doing your ad. So using that example I just did, pre-planning, by landing it on the pre-planning page and having enough content for Google to get excited about should give me a 9 or a 10 quality score. But if I was to land that on an About Us page, then my quality score is probably going to be a 1, and it will be very hard for me to rank or for me to win an auction with a quality score of 1. So that's something, again, when you're setting up your Google ads, that you'll be able to see. And then the last thing I wanted to touch base on is your keywords. So here we have a whole breakdown of all your keywords. You can add, you can take away keywords at any time. You can see again how many impressions, their click-through rates, their cost per click. You also can set up what's called negative keywords. Negative keywords are just as important as standard keywords. Negative keywords means that you do not want to come up with a search for that particular keyword. So I'm going to use an example here. I'm going to actually open up another Word document. And this is something that Shelby wrote for me today. It says that keyword match types tell Google how aggressively or restrictively you want to match your ads to your queries. There are 3 types of keyword match types to consider. A broad match, it's the least restrictive and gives you the least amount of control. You write the keyword normally without putting any characters around it. Broad match keywords appear for searches that relate to your keyword, which can include some big variations. So for example, you write in running shoes, things you can match for using a broad keyword are running shoes, would be basketball shoes for kids, and socks for running. As you can see, both search queries aren't for your intended keyword of running shoes. So you might not sell socks, so therefore you just paid for an ad potentially or a click, and it's not going to relate to a sale, because so that would look at, as we would say, that's probably a negative keyword that we want to set up. A phrase match gives you more control without being completely restrictive. You write this with quotations around your keyword or phrase. Phrase match keywords appear for searches that contain this particular phrase or the same meaning and with small variations or close variants. Example, quotes, running shoes. Things you could match for using the phrase match keyword running shoes would be black running shoes, best kids running shoes in Kingston. As you can see, those could all be relevant if you sell running shoes, but maybe you don't sell kids running shoes. Then you go to the last match type, the exact match. The most restrictive match type that gives you the most control. You write this with the square bracket around your keyword or phrase. Exact match keywords appear for searches that match your keyword precisely or close variations with the same meaning. So for example, close brackets, running shoes, things you would match for are using the exact match keyword running shoes would be running shoes, sneakers. So while it might not, running shoes is an exact match, sneakers is also an exact match because it's just another word for running shoes. I mentioned close variants a couple of times. To Google, this means words with closely related syntax. So this may include misspellings, singular or plural forms, stemmings, for example, floor and flooring, and abbreviations or accents. So that's a great explanation of when we're setting up keywords of what type they are. So you can see here, this is an exact match. there's a phrase match, and then you can play with that over time. All right. So that concludes my PPC. As I said, we were going to talk about the benefits of PPC, which the benefits are it's fast acting. There's no real time for setup. You go in, you set it up, and it's live immediately. So you're going to get results as soon as possible. Whereas SEO is a long term, you're going to be waiting 4 to 6 months to even start seeing results. So that's, to me, is a critical piece of why PPC works, is it's very fast acting. All right, does anybody have any questions? I'll just mention, this will be emailed to you tomorrow after 2 o'clock. The system waits 24 hours, and then it sends an automatic email. So those that have attended will get it by email, and those that have not attended will also get it by email. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Even if it's questions about, PPC, if I don't have the answer, I will definitely get the answer for you. You can reach me at mike@yoursocialstrategy.com. You can reach me by phone at 888-356-0380 extension 101, or by mobile 613-328-9422. All right, last little piece of business is, if you stuck around, we are offering a free PPC audit on your account. So what that means is you would give us access to your PPC account, and Shelby would go through and monitor it, or not monitor, but check it through for, and give you suggestions on how to make it better. It happens a lot with people that are doing their own PPC because they don't understand the setup of certain things, and it can actually help them save a lot of money. So we're doing that for free as part of our webinar special, a free PPC audit on your account. I thank everybody for their time. I appreciate it. I hope I didn't go into too much detail, but at the same time gave you enough to arm you to be able to read a Google Ads page and know what you need to read in order to better the account. Thank you, and next month we are back on, I think, May 27th, and we'll send out an announcement with a sign-up screen as well. Thank you, everybody.